So you're a marketing pro, you're using AI, and you've got the basics down. But let's be honest, the basics can only take you so far. What do you do when all your AI outputs start to feel a little, well, generic? Today, we're going to move past those fundamentals and really dig into the intermediate strategies that will completely change your game. And just so we're all on the same page, everything we're covering in this explainer is pulled straight from Chapter 5 of the Beginning, Intermediate, and Advanced Prompt Engineering for Marketing Professionals tutorial by Virtualization Options LLC. All right, let's just admit it. You've been there, right? You ask your AI for something, you wait for that brilliant response, and what you get back is just flat, uninspired, kind of meh. It's a super common frustration, but the great news is it's totally fixable. And this slide right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the problem. On the left, you see a vague, simple prompt, and you get a vague, simple result. But look at the right. By giving the AI a specific job title, a role, an expert persona, the output suddenly becomes way more focused, sophisticated, and targeted. That's the power we're going to tap into today. You know, making that jump from beginner to intermediate isn't about writing these crazy, complicated prompts. It's really about a shift in your thinking. You're no longer just giving orders, you're starting a strategic conversation with an incredibly powerful partner. So, with that in mind, let's build out your new toolkit. We're going to walk through 5 super powerful techniques: assigning a role, using multi-step workflows, getting creative with constraints, using templates in your prompts, and finally, the compare and contrast method. First up, let's talk about assigning a role. This is your secret weapon for turning that generalist AI into the exact specialist you need for any job. The whole idea here is pretty simple, but it's a game changer. Instead of just telling the AI what to do, you first tell it who to be. When you assign a role, you're tapping into all the specific language, knowledge, and patterns associated with that profession that are buried deep inside the AI's training data. And just look at the range of expertise you have at your fingertips. Need some fresh keyword ideas? Boom, tell the AI it's an SEO specialist. Need some really compelling ad copy that converts? Guess what? It's now a conversion copywriter. You can literally summon the perfect expert for any task on demand. Okay, great. So you've got your specialist. But what about those really big, complex projects, like a whole marketing campaign or a super detailed white paper? You know a single prompt isn't going to cut it. And that is exactly where multi-step workflows come into play. The logic here is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. I mean, you wouldn't try to build a house all at once, right? You lay the foundation, then you frame the walls, then you add the roof. We're just applying that same smart, step-by-step process to our work with AI. Let's take writing a white paper, for example. Instead of one huge, confusing prompt, you break it down into manageable chunks. First, you use the AI to brainstorm topics. Then you pick the best one and have it create a detailed outline. Then you have it draft each section individually. This approach keeps you in the driver's seat and produces a final product that's so much higher in quality and just makes more sense. All right, this next technique might feel a little backward at first, but trust me, it is ridiculously effective. We're going to talk about how setting limitations, telling the AI what not to do, can actually unlock more creative and focused content. Just think of constraints as guardrails for your AI. You can set limits on length, you can specify a certain reading level for your audience, or you could even enforce a really specific structure. The more specific your constraints are, the more targeted and genuinely useful the AI's output is going to be. And this is just a perfect example of a simple prohibition constraint. Just telling the AI to steer clear of overused marketing buzzwords instantly elevates your copy. It makes it sound fresher, more authentic. It's such a tiny instruction, but wow, it has a huge impact. Moving on to a technique that is an absolute lifesaver for maintaining brand consistency, especially when you're cranking out content at scale, things like case studies or feature announcements. Here's the key. Instead of just describing the structure you want, show it. By giving the AI a clear template, just like this one for a case study, you get rid of all the guesswork. The AI knows exactly what sections to create and what kind of information to pop into each one. This ensures every single piece of content follows your established format, every time. And for our final tool, we're going to tackle a type of content that customers find incredibly valuable when they're stuck making a decision: comparisons. But getting these right with an AI, well, that requires a pretty specific approach.
You see, a really good comparison isn't just a laundry list of features, it's a thoughtful analysis. And to get that from your AI, you need to give it clear criteria. Define what you're comparing, tell it exactly what points to compare, what the format should be, and the tone you're going for. This is what guides the AI to create a resource that's genuinely helpful, not just another sales pitch.
So when you put it all together, by really mastering these techniques, you're fundamentally changing your relationship with AI. It stops being just a simple tool and starts becoming a true strategic partner, helping you produce way higher quality, more sophisticated marketing work. So now you've got 5 really powerful tools in your kit. The only question left is, which one are you going to put into practice first to really transform your marketing workflow? Thanks for joining me.